Hello everybody, Shinjo here. Welcome back to the channel and to the ZeXal tier list. This is gonna be interesting because, well, you'll find out soon enough. I'm gonna start this time with Yuma's friends, because all of Yuma's friends are going to go in D tier. The only catch is Tori's gonna go above just because Tori actually does something compared to the other three, even though that's not really much. A lot of his friends are just boring in my opinion, and I don't think that's an unpopular opinion. We got In the End guy, we got I like to use flip effects, and we have a cat. ZeXal is a weird show, and this is the most normal that we're gonna get here. And I'm gonna save the variants for later. I'm gonna focus on characters that were shown early on in the show. So, Heart is Mokuba, but done a little bit better, even though he does still never duel and essentially gets kidnapped for what it's worth. But it's fine. Faker is a good first boss. He's not a great one. Heartland is just funny because any role that Darren Dunstan does is absolutely amazing. And, yeah, I'll put Orbital and Lilybot in C tier. They're not characters I really care about. For what it's worth, they actually duel. Even though they use generic machine decks, it's still something. Next is Anna Kaboom. Her character is fine, just like Heartland right over here. I really like the VA that they chose for Anna Kaboom, and I like the train deck in general, taking advantage of high levels. It's fine. It's just a character that realistically should get used more, but just doesn't. And this one, if you don't know who this is, I don't blame you. I had to look it up. This is Nelson Andrews, the guy that Yuma faced early on that was possessed by the number with that out of context clip where Yuma says that somebody summoned their mom. That is the character, and I legitimately didn't know. Don't know why Nelson gets to be on the list when other one-off characters aren't, but, you know. Roku's gonna go in A tier. I really like Roku and the callbacks to the original series, GX and 5Ds. I don't remember if they had any 5Ds monsters. I know they had Neos and Dark Magician, but I don't remember if they had anything from 5Ds. Whatever. His pupil's gonna go right below. I like the ninja deck. I just feel like it would be a crime to put them in different tiers. Let me tackle the Arclight family. Quattro, I think that's his name. A lot of these are names that I'm not 100% sure on. I'm pretty sure this is Quattro. He's gonna go A tier. I really like Quattro. Trey's a bit below. I don't really remember much from Trey or Quentin for that matter. Vectrix is probably just a B tier. Honestly, if they would have changed things and made Quattro be the main antagonist from that part of the show, I wouldn't have batted an eye. We have Dextra and Nistro. They're a package deal. Dextra's gonna go B tier. The whole thing of Dextra being a character that doesn't really show much emotion, is always stoic, does get old rather quickly. As for Nistro, just like Anna Kaboom and Heartland, can't keep these two characters straight. With the three top characters in B tier, you can tell that the characters really are played by voice actors that really enjoy their roles. Jason Griffith does an amazing job as Nistro in my opinion. And let's talk about Yuma's family. Yuma's grandma's gonna go in C tier. Kari's realistically gonna go there as well. I really like Kari's design, and the fact that they gave a protagonist a sibling for once is a nice touch, but she just doesn't duel. And let's tackle Dawn. Actually, no, let's go to Elephas, I think this guy's name is. The one guy that Yuma faces in Astro World. I really don't care. Let's tackle Dawn Thousand, because Dawn Thousand is like the last boss of ZeXal. And Dawn Thousand is in B tier. The whole thing of Dawn 1000 using cards that are just absolutely broken, using your opponent's cards and changing their effects, having monsters with ungodly amounts of attack strength, that just feels kind of weird in my opinion. Although with a show like ZeXal it makes perfect sense, but even though previous and future duels are over the top sometimes, I like when they don't go with crazy amount of attack strength. It just makes things feel so weird and basically extra in my opinion. And let me tackle the variant next. What's this guy's name? Is that Dumont? I can't remember. I'm pretty sure that's Dumont because I don't see anybody else that I recognize here. So Dumont's just a C tier. Don't really remember much about him. Don't remember what cards he even uses. So let's go on to Misael. I like the back and forth between him and Kite, and I like their duel on the moon, but I don't really remember much about the rest of it. Alito and Garog are going to go in A tier. They work so well off of each other. They're just great characters. Rio is probably going to be an A tier, I believe. Rio is a fine character, but the fact that she becomes a Barian really helps as well, because that actually gives her something to do. And when you have characters like Tori and Kat that didn't do much in ZeXal, we need a character like Rio that actually does something. On the other hand, Shark is probably going to be right beside her. I like Shark, but I don't know, just something about it makes me hesitate to put Shark in S tier. Same with Astro. Astro is going to go a very high B tier. The whole thing of a serious character and a joke character bouncing off of each other works for characters like Nistro and Dextra. The whole gag of Astro taking everything Yuma says literally early in the show does get very old. And on that note, Yuma's probably going to be... I think he's going to be right beside Astro. He's a fine character. If he didn't come off as so annoying early on, then he probably might be even an A tier. But Yuma just was the exact opposite of Yusei, which coming from somebody that likes 5Ds is a big shock for me. And I like ZeXal to an extent. It's probably on the lower half of Yu-Gi-Oh shows for me, and Yuma is probably a part of it, but he might be more bearable early on in the sub. Kite is going to go in A tier. I love Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. I like Kite as a character, and I think that's all there needs to be said about it. Vector is the greatest plot twist known to man. I love the whole thing of Ray coming into the show, being friends with Yuma, being all buddy-buddy, and then flipping the script. That was amazing. But I think that's going to be what my tier list is going to be. It honestly is a bit more straightforward than what I was expecting, but I knew Vector was going to be near the top, just because of how insane of a character that he is. But I hope you enjoyed. If you enjoyed, hit that like button down below. Subscribe if you haven't. And I'll see you next time. Momentai.